What's up, guys? A lot of you have been requesting that I use Thamuz, and even though I don't really know how to play him, as always, I'll make a video about him because it's your request. I also noticed that Thamuz is really strong in certain matchups, especially when the enemies don't have much kite potential. I mean, when their mobility isn't that high. And I think jungler and EXP lane are the best roles for him. He's like a pre-revamped Freya that relies on continuous basic attacks, and he hits really hard, especially when he uses his ultimate. It's just that when enemies keep their distance and you struggle to get close, that's when Thamuz's weakness shows. And when the enemies have chain CC, you'll really struggle, because you actually need to use your basic attacks to deal damage and to lifesteal when you use your ultimate. Well, all fighters that rely on continuous basic attacks will definitely have a hard time if the enemies have chain CC. At least marksmen can use Purify, and they can keep their distance. So even though most of them rely on basic attacks, it's still good, because they're hard to reach, unless you have bad positioning, like most Hanabi, Layla, or Mia users. Pick Thamuz when the enemies have no dash and he'll have a feast. Actually, even against heroes with dash, as long as their dash cooldown isn't fast. But nowadays, most heroes have really fast dash cooldowns. Plus, there are those heroes who run really fast and never go near enemies because they're long range. Those are the annoying matchups when I'm using Thamuz. Because heroes with low mobility really suffer against Thamuz. They can't escape because of his slow effects, and his first skill can also hook enemies toward him. But aside from that, I really like Thamuz's tankiness right now, and he can still deal so much damage with basic attacks. Although heroes that rely too much on basic attacks definitely have disadvantages, what I really like about them is that they can push turrets fast. Thamuz is one of the best users of Corrosion Scythe right now, and it fits him perfectly because it adds to his natural slow effects from his skills and basic attacks. That's why his slows are too much for some heroes, and if you don't have a dash, you really can't escape. You also can't just fight him without creating distance because you'll lose hard. Only very few heroes can actually go toe-to-toe with him. I haven't really tested who those heroes are yet though, but everyone will have a hard time against him. Well, it's also because of his ultimate. It's such a good skill since Thamuz heals upon using it, gains extra HP, and then heals even more when he hits enemies with basic attacks. And I noticed that when his ultimate ends, it looks like Thamuz heals or gains HP again. But that's not really the case. It just feels that way, because the extra HP from his ultimate disappears, which makes it look like your HP increased. But what actually happens is that the extra HP is consumed first before your real HP. Because with some heroes like Yujin, both the extra HP from his ultimate and his real HP decrease at the same time. So when he returns to human form, his HP bar shows the same percentage as before. The enemy's lineup here is really good because their combo is super solid. One big ultimate from Carmilla and Vexana can instantly follow up with her combo, plus Ruby's CC. We'd get completely crushed if that happens. Their whole setup heavily relies on Carmilla. That's why we really need to avoid clumping up so we don't all get hit by Carmilla's ultimate at the same time. It's really hard to do that in solo ranked games, but it is what it is. Carmilla almost killed me here, but I managed to recall back to base just in time. And since the game already reached late game, their marksman could easily melt us. That's why I tried hard to push that bottom lane inhibitor turret, and I really thought I was dead, but turns out I wasn't. It's funny that our CC just keeps diving into a bunch of enemies, and I don't even follow her because I'll just get dragged into it. Just let her keep making those dives and sacrificing herself. But obviously she didn't die here. She's lucky the enemies had no damage because YSS wasn't there, and Carrie was targeting someone else. Carmilla's ultimate was also wasted, so they lost that moment. When there's a setter tank like that, just avoid clumping up. I mean, never stay too close to your teammates, especially your marksman or mage, because they're the priority targets. So we accidentally won this game, and the enemies were blaming each other for why they lost. It's a game. Sometimes you win, most of the time you lose. Next game, I used him in the EXP lane. He can go toe-to-toe against meta EXP laners. Well, I think he's also meta now, at least in ranked games. Thamuz is good in the EXP lane, but if you really want to carry, go for jungle. Because in solo queue, the jungler role is the best if you want to carry. You're the one who rotates and takes objectives, the two most important things to win in ranked games. If you know how to jungle and the hero you want to use can work in jungle, then go for it. I'm using the fighter emblem with Festival of Blood and Temporal Rain. Earlier, I used Warcry, and I can think of 3 good tier 3 talents for him. Temporal Rain, Warcry, and the other one is Brave Smite if you're in the EXP lane for sustain. This is one of the things I like about him. He can push fast even with just 1 damage item, which is Corrosion Side, the only attack item you need to be effective. But you can also go for War Axe. There are just so many good items for him. 6 item slots really aren't enough. We're behind in kills, but I'm still able to snowball, which means there's a feeder on my team. Can you guess who? This is also what I mentioned earlier. The enemy really has no escape if they don't have mobility skills against Thamuz. It's almost a guaranteed kill in situations like this. Vengeance is also a big help for him as anti-burst. I mean, you really need it so you still have a chance to use your ultimate if the enemies try to burst you down while you have Vengeance. I also like the dash from his second skill because it goes pretty far, and if you use it on a wall, he really jumps to the wall. Unlike Alucard, who often can't jump over the wall if the distance is a bit off. What happened here is funny. Suddenly, there was a little birdie passing by, and I killed him without even realizing it. Fanny is still probably the strongest hero if played perfectly. It's just that only a few players can play her near perfectly. That's why we hardly see her in solo ranked games anymore. Fanny mains are now really high ranked because she's rarely banned. I'm low ranked, so it's rare for me to see someone who's really good at Fanny. The last time I played Thamuz before he was revamped, which was around 2 to 3 years ago, when you were pushing a turret, it was better not to hold the scythe. You'd throw your first skill and just leave it. But now it's better to hold it so you can trigger your passive. I don't think it triggers if you're not holding the scythe. So we accidentally won this game again. If you've made it this far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Good luck, and see you next time.